Thank you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. Glory to you, Lord. Jesus spoke this parable addressed to those who believe in their own self-righteousness while holding everyone else in contempt. Two people went up to the temple to pray. One was a Pharisee and the other a tax collector. The Pharisee stood and prayed like this: I give you thanks, O God, that I am not like the others, greedy and crooked and adulterous, or even like this tax collector. I fast twice a week and I pay tithes on everything that I earn. The other one, however, kept a distance, not even daring to look up to heaven. In real humility, all the tax collector said was, "O God, be merciful to me, a sinner." Believe me, the tax collector went home from the temple right with God, where the Pharisee did not. For those who exalt themselves will be humbled, while those who humble themselves will be exalted. My friends, the good news of salvation. Glory and praise to our Savior, Jesus Christ. I invite you to be seated. I actually think this is a kind of a powerful gospel for this time of year. Listen to those words. Jesus spoke this parable addressed to those who believe in their own self-righteousness while holding everyone else in contempt. Those are pretty powerful words, right? I think they're especially powerful today, especially this time of year, and especially given those things we call midterm elections. Right? Now, I'm not making comments on politicians or political positions or anything of that sort, so we can't get in trouble with the IRS. But what I'm referencing specifically are those numerous ads which just pound our airways, which seem to point out all the faults of everybody else and not any of their own, right? It's always pointing out to somebody else. Somebody else did this or didn't do this, or they're going to do this, or they're going to fly here, or they did that, or whatever it is. It's just constant barrage of that. It almost makes you want to turn it off, right? And it almost makes you wonder, I don't know if you all have, but I wonder if as a nation we would pass a law or make an agreement that absolutely in political campaigns, you couldn't make any comment about your opponent. Wouldn't that just be awesome? Like the only thing you could do is say what you believed, how you would do, what you would do, and when you would do it, and how you would do it, right? How awesome that would be to just claim our own humanity, our own reality, and not comment on the other person's, right? Wouldn't it be awesome to be able to stand and say, this is what I believe, this is what I hope for, and this is what I plan to do? And yet, I think it points to the fact that we've lost the art of civil discourse with one another. It's an art that's just disappeared from all of us, and we've become, in many ways, a society of righteous versus self-righteous. And I count myself among them, right? You know, I think that a lot of people don't think. And so then I pass judgment on them and say that they don't think. Or, you know, just drive on the interstate, and it doesn't take you very long to conclude that there's a bunch of people that don't know how to drive. All those kind of things, you know, even though those might be flippant examples, it doesn't take much for us to really concentrate on the reality that there are a lot of things that we stand in judgment of. And we lost that art of just entering into dialogue with one another. But I believe that this gospel today stands as a reminder. It's a kind of an in-your-face reality that no one of us is better than anyone else. We all have our character defects. Sometimes those defects are more visible. Sometimes they're more identifiable. Sometimes they're more blatant. But we can't kid ourselves at all. No one is better than anyone else. As you know, I spent 128 months ministering in a maximum security prisons, and I can honestly say it did not take me very long to come to realize that those who are incarcerated are just as human, just as real, just as scared and just as lonely as any other person I know in this world, including myself. There is something, I will say, there's nothing that can teach a person about humility and about the depth and effect of humility more than sitting in a circle of 40 guys who have took the lives of other individuals and listen to their story, and listen to their sorrow, and listen to their regret. And then you understand the depth of humility and how we can't stand in judgment of each other. What that time in prison taught me is that I can no more stand in judgment of them than they can of me. We are all children of God. We're all children of God. We all deeply want and need to be loved. Humility, my friends, that this gospel refers to, it's not based on shame. True humility is never based on shame. Humility is based on the acceptance of who we are, knowing that we can always be better than we are currently being. Right? Just the acceptance of who we are, knowing that we can be better than we're currently being. As we say in recovery circles often, it's very easy to remember when we point our finger at someone else, another individual, another thing in our society, and we say something about that person. There's 3 fingers that are pointing directly back at us. It's something to think about.